Hello everyone, I'm Naveen Kumar Biru. I'm truly honored to be here at Conference 42 ML 2025. Today's talk is going to be about beyond perimeters, implementing zero trust at enterprise scale. In this session, I want to go beyond the hype and break down what zero trust really means, why it is not just a security buzzword, but a fundamental architectural shift that enterprises need to survive and thrive in today's cloud-driven distributed world. Zero trust has become one of the most important strategies for modern enterprises, especially those operating across multi cloud environments, different geographies, and supporting remote workforces. In this presentation, I will walk you through key concepts, share data points, and highlight real world implementation challenges and outcomes. Thank you for spending time with me. Let's get started. Evolving digital landscape. Let's begin by painting the landscape we are operating in. Today, 76% of enterprises run multi cloud environments spanning across average 3.7 cloud providers, creating a highly complex interconnected system. Despite investments in perimeter defense, 95% of breaches still result from human error, phishing attacks, misconfigurations, accidental exposure. And breach costs have risen fast, now averaging around 4.8 million, 10.7 increase from last year. These trends show that traditional perimeter-based defenses are no longer enough. To effectively protect modern enterprises, we need a model that assumes breaches will happen and focus minimizing impact. The business case for zero trust. So why zero trust? Because organizations that embrace mature zero trust programs save around 1.4 million on an average for a breach. Adoption has skyrocketed. 49% of enterprises report progress in zero trust initiatives, up from 21% just a few years ago. This shift is practically driven by remote work, which has expanded attack surfaces by 37%, adding unmanaged devices, unsecured networks, and external access points. Beyond security, Zero Trust offers business benefits like greater agility, safer cloud adoption, and stronger regulatory alignments. It's an essential for business. From perimeter to Zero Trust. Zero Trust requires a fundamental mind shift. Instead of assuming that everything inside the network is trusted, we follow three principles. Continuous verification, every request is checked every time. Identity-based trust, decisions are based on identity, not on location. No default trust, nothing is implicitly trusted, even inside the network. This shift matters because 70% of today's traffic moves from east to west inside the perimeter. The old castle and moat approach leaves too many gaps open. With zero trust, the trust becomes something you earn, not something you inherit. Identity centric security. Identity is the heart of zero trust. In this model, identity becomes a new perimeter, whether it's a person, device, or a workload. According to NIST, all resource authentications and authorizations are dynamic and strictly enforced before access is allowed. But this is challenging. 92% of enterprises use multiple identity systems, making it inconsistent and hard. Implementing leading implementations now adopt continuous authentications, checking identity at multiple points during a session, not just at the login. This has resulted in 37% reduction in identity-based compromises, proving the power of strong identity-centered defenses. In short, identity management becomes the foundation for all security layers. Microsegmentation is another key zero trust component. Rather than managing network zones, you apply granular control at workload level. 76% of enterprises now implement software-defined segmentation, which controls east-west traffic. By ensuring that only explicit allowed services communicate, you reduce the breach by 66% in segmented environments. Microsegmentation effectively limits lateral movement, turning what could have been a system-wide breach into a small contained incident. It reinforces the principle of least privilege at the network level, cutting off attack pathways before the spread. Contextual access policies. Dynamic access policies are central to zero trust. They rely on combining multiple factors such as user identity and behavior patterns, device health, assessed by 83% of enterprises, request context like location or time, data sensitivity, ensuring sensitive resources get extra protection. By layering these control, organizations create adaptive risk-aware access decisions. The result, 37% of exfiltration incidents showing that smart policies make a real impact. This isn't just a static role-based access, but it's applying context over every decision. Again, dynamic policy enforcement is central to zero trust implementation, with NIST defining a core tenet that access to resources is determined by dynamic policy, including the observable state of client identity, application service, and requesting asset. The result is that zero trust security effectiveness increases in a lot of areas. Reduction in exploitable attack surface by 41%, reduction in breach scope based of microsegmentation by 66%, reduction in data exfiltration incidents by 37%, and reducing identity-based compromise incidents by 37%. Current state of zero trust adoption. Let's look where most organizations are today. O- Only 8% have fully implemented zero trust across their enterprises, but for others, the process is under the way. 49% are actively applying zero trust in key areas, and 34% are still planning their approach. This highlights the implementation gap between early pilots and fully enterprise coverage. Zero trust takes time. It's not a plug and play solution. It requires careful strategy, phased rollout, and alignment across various teams. Federated identity management. Managing identities across a large, complex organization is one of the hardest zero trust challenges, mainly because identity confidence gap. Only 29% of the organizations are very confident in their identity security controls, creating a significant challenges for zero trust implementations. Privileged identity management. 57% of the organizations report using privileged identity management solutions as a part of their zero trust approach. Machine identities. 73% of the organizations report managing more machine identities that human identifies, creating an expanded identity surface requiring consistent security controls. Large organizations must implement federated identity solutions that provide seamless yet secure across distributed environments. The identity confidence gap creates significant challenge as 89% of organizations have experienced at least one identity related breach in recent years. End-to-end encryption. Zero Trust demands pervasive encryption, protecting data no matter where it travels. This includes encrypting data at transit, data at rest, securing API communications, protecting east-west microservice traffic, and implementing robust key management practices. Zero Trust requires encryption to protect data throughout its life cycle, eliminating implicit trust in network boundaries or transport mechanisms. Research shows encryption is one of the fourth most common controls supporting zero trust initiatives. This shift reduces reliance on network boundaries and ensures that even intercepted data remains protected. It's about making sure that the sensitive information is always secure and even on untrusted channels. Distributed policy enforcement. Zero trust requires enforcing policies consistently at multiple levels. Network layer. The secure gateways and next-gen firewalls, 57% of organizations implement secure gateways as a part of the zero trust policy, proving foundational security through next generation firewalls and secure access through SASE solutions. Service mesh layer. Using MPLS and fine-grained controls, fine-grained control policy in a containerized environment enables zero trust principles to modern application architectures with service-to-service communication, securing the MPLS communication between each service. Application layer, applying rules through API gateways, that all API access adheres to zero trust policies with comprehensive authentication or authorization for each request. Policy enforcement must occur at multiple layers within the technology stack to implement zero trust principles effectively at enterprise scale. This architectural approach to policy enforcement represents a critical success factor, with 70% of the organizations reporting difficulty in incorporating consistent policy enforcement during distributed environments. Without uniform policy enforcements, gaps appear, and attackers look for those inconsistencies. Effective policy enforcement is not just about tools, it's about ensuring alignment across technology stack. Comprehensive accountability is true backbone of a successful zero trust implementation. Without it, you're operating blind, and in today's fast-moving environment, there's a risk no organization can afford. To succeed, you need a visibility across entire stack, from infrastructure to application, from network to user behavior. This means that you're not just collecting raw data, but you're turning it into meaningful insights that can drive action. Key components include secure event collection across all the systems, cloud and on-prem, comprehensive visibility enabling both proactive threat identification and effective incident response. Behavioral analysis to establish baseline studies and quickly identify unusual patterns. Establish baseline behaviors and identify deviations that may indicate security threats. Automated responses that contain threats the moment detected, enabling rapid mitigation of potential threats before they can cause significant damage. Consistent feedback loops where real-time data helps fine-tune policies and controls over time. Leverage operational data to adjust security controls based on environmental conditions. Currently, 42% of the organizations report expanding their logging, monitoring, and telemetry efforts as a part of their zero trust journey. But achieving comprehensive observability is about more than just tools. It's about designing the systems that integrate visibility natively and not an afterthought. A thought. Remember, you cannot secure what you cannot see. Zero trust requires full situational awareness across systems, identities, devices, and networks. The more you know about the environment, the faster, the more precisely you can act when something goes wrong. Ultimately, I've turned zero trust from a static policy framework into a living, adaptive security posture. Let's talk about service mesh integration. When we talk about securing cloud native application, service meshes like Istio, Linkerd, or AWS App Mesh become central to zero trust. They aren't just networking tools; they are embedded deeply into how microservices communicate with each other. Service meshes provide critical capabilities, including MTLS, mutual TLS, ensuring that every service-to-service interaction is authenticated and encrypted. All service-to-service communication is authenticated and encrypted. Explicit access policies defining exactly which services are allowed to talk to each other can make zero trust easy to implement. Services can only communicate with explicit authorized endpoints. Telemetry collection is another important feature of zero mesh integration. Gathering rich telemetry data on communication patterns, errors, latency is critical for telemetry collections. Detailed metrics on communication patterns reveals potential security anomalies. Traffic workload identities. This gives services unique verifiable identities that are hard to spoof. Cryptographic identities for services that can't easily be spoofed. By integrating these features directly into the application layers, organizations can enforce zero trust at a granular service to service level communications. This reduces the risk of lateral movement. Even if one part of the system is compromised, the other parts stay minimal impact. It also provides better visibility on how applications behave, enabling tighter controls and faster detection of anomalies. Without the mesh integration, zero trust efforts in microservice environments often fall short, leaving gap for attackers that possibly could be exploited. Think of a service mesh as a connective tissue that holds zero trust principles and high dynamic cloud architectures. It's not about improving security, it's about building resilience, scalability, and adaptability into the heart of the system. Service mesh, Istio, like we talked about, Linkerd, AWS mesh, facilitate zero trust by providing critical security capabilities for containerized microservice environment. Service mesh provide critical capabilities for implementing zero trust in microservice environment by creating an architecture where security is embedded within the application infrastructure. Now let's talk about API security and zero trust. APIs are front doors to modern applications and they are under constant threat. In a zero trust framework, API security must be treated as a first class citizen and first class priority, not an afterthought. Securing API involves several key practices. Deploying API gateway as a centralized enforcement points for all incoming and outgoing API calls. This helps in centralized enforcement points for applying security policies, implementing authentication requirements for all API consumers regardless of their network origin, applying rate limit and anomaly detection to prevent abuse, denial of service attacks, or unexpected spikes. Protecting against this abuse is critical for zero. Enforcing schema validation to block malformed and malicious payloads that could exploit the backend system. This is critical in preventing controls, ensuring that all data passed to API enters to expected format, preventing common attack techniques like injection attack. Zero trust for API goes even further. It means authenticating every API consumer, validating authorization for every action, and continuously monitoring for suspicious behaviors. API often connect to sensitive data, financial transactions, or critical operations, making them prime targets for attackers. Without strong API security, even most well-designed zero trust architectures can be bypassed. Additionally, as organizations embrace open ecosystems, working with partners, vendors, and third parties, API security becomes a vital piece of maintaining trust across extended supply chains. Zero trust can be applied to APIs to ensure that every single request is evaluated, verified, and controlled. Ultimately, your zero trust strategy is only as strong as your weakest API. Now, let's talk about how to overcome implementation challenges. We can't talk about zero trust without addressing its challenges. Adoption is really smooth, and organizations fail and face real practical hurdles. About 60% of security leaders point to legacy system compatibility as one of the biggest obstacles for zero trust policy. Older systems weren't designed for continuous verification or granular access control, and retrofitting them can be expensive and time consuming. These are also challenges with other tools like sprawl, skill gaps. There are also challenges with skill gaps, cultural resistance, and also alignment across teams. Zero trust isn't just a security project; it's a organizational transformation that requires buy-in from leadership, IT operations, and business units. Successful organizations approach zero trust as a structured and staged journey. They start by identifying high-value targets, applying zero trust policies where they can, and applying zero trust principles where they can have biggest impact, and then gradually expanding output. Help build momentum, but strong long-term success requires sustained investment and cross-functional collaboration. The transformation of zero trust architecture presents numerous implementation challenges that organizations must systematically address. Approximately 60% of the security professionals cite legacy systems as their main concern. By decoupling identity from network location, implementing rigorous authentication and authorization, and maintaining continuous verification, organizations can build resilient security framework that adapt to realities of modern distributed enterprises. It is important to remember that zero trust isn't a product you buy or a checkbox you complete. It's a shift in how organization thinks about trust, access, risk, and a mindset that puts continuous verification at its core. At the end, organizations that succeed are those that treat zero trust as a strategic commitment, not as a tactical fix. In closing, thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope this talk gave you a clear understanding on how zero trust can strengthen enterprise security and give you a realistic sense of what it takes to get there. If you'd like to connect and share insights or continue this conversation, I would love to hear back from you. Thank you again and enjoy the rest of Conference 42 ML 2025.